Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's episode here on My Aligned Purpose podcast. I'm your host, Nicole, and I've been hearing that you've been loving TGIM lately, and so I aim to give you another incredible episode today. This one is based off of a book that I re-picked up off my bookshelf recently. I'm going to show it to you here. It's tiny. My screen's a little blurry. I don't know if you can see. It's teeny, teeny, teeny tiny. And it is called The Game of Life and How to Play It by Florence Scovel Shinn. And this is all about mindset, manifestation, success, joy, and like how to win at the game of life, essentially. And so I want to share with you a couple of my takeaways of this. You could go read it if you want, or you can just take my Nicole's notes. Okay, so Florence Scovel Shinn is a woman who, like many of the other manifestation teachers that I admire, she's from back in the day. She wrote this book in 1925. This is when her truth bombs were coming to life, way before we had access to the internet, the World Wide Web, all of that great stuff, social media. And her insights I find hit different because they're from 100 years ago, literally 100 years ago. We're in 2025 and this is from 1925. And did I just say we're in 125? I meant 2025, if that's what I said. Yet I feel like it all applies. It's still the same. It's like if you're experiencing the modern day struggle of wondering how to manifest what it is that you want or live the life that you want, it all still applies. So I encourage you to pour your favorite drink, your coffee, your water, your matcha, your tea, whatever it is, and we're going to dive into it. I'm going to share a little bit of a story, how this applies to me, and I want to give you some takeaways. So the way that I see that Florence has written this book is that she kind of basically gives us cheat codes for life. She shows us how our words and our thoughts and our actions all matter. They carry a lot of weight. Your beliefs are literally creating your reality. But what I love most about her and her teachings in this book is that it's not fluffy. I know that we're not here for fluffy. I know that you all know that I lean towards like the science of manifestation, the subconscious side of manifestation. I believe that manifestation requires action, and I know that she does too. So that's something that I really appreciate about her, is that it's not fluffy. It's practical tools. It's real life scenarios and situations and examples of how this stuff actually works. Now, I want to get real with you about something in my own life that is applied to the teachings that I read in this book and give you a little bit of a scenario about how I see this playing out in my life. She talks about this concept in the book, and she says, what man condemns in others, he attracts himself. Basically, karma. Basically, what goes around comes around. Basically, that your subconscious mind doesn't know if you're manifesting for someone else or for yourself. It all believes it to be truth for you. So when I think about this in my own life, I can think about so many scenarios and situations where this applies. Like basically what my expectation is for others or what my standard is for others. I see how that plays out or has played out in my own life. And I've shared many, many, many times about coming to the realization about being the common denominator in my relationships and like attracting all of these men that are essentially duds, and trying to basically put the blame on the outside world. Like why is this happening to me, when really I needed to take a long, hard, reflective look at myself of what I believe my standard is, or the set point of my energetic set point, or my intention of what I'm putting out there is what I'm receiving back. But for today's example, what I want to talk about more applied to business and particularly money mindset is thinking about how when we first created this business, I could not wrap my head around paying somebody a large amount of money because I didn't really have any. And therefore, I also could not wrap my head around charging what I thought was a larger amount of money. And, we talk about how we started My Aligned Purpose with Manifesting Money Masterclass, which was $189 at the time to get in. And we took so many people through that. Then our next course that followed up immediately after that was Elevate Your Voice, Elevate Your Business, all on the chakra system and being able to use your voice. Then we went back, and the third month we launched Manifesting Money Masterclass again for a second round. And then after that, we went into our first mastermind, and the price point on that mastermind was $799 Canadian, $800 for 8 weeks of masterminding. And that felt insane to me. That felt insane. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine earning that, charging that, receiving that, paying that. It took me so much mental work to realize that that dollar amount wasn't about my personal worth. It was about the transformation of what we were providing the people in our mastermind at that time and the experience and the expertise we had and the guest speakers. And so essentially it was like $100 a week for 8 weeks. And they got so much out of it. It was such an incredible mastermind. We had 16 people join up to that first mastermind that first fall. And when I think about that concept of like what man condemns in others, he attracts himself. When I was able to get to this place where I was holding people who were working with us to a higher standard of, you know, you've got to put money where your mouth is and you've got to put skin in the game and you have to invest if you want to learn. It's just like if you go to university or anything like that, like you have to pay to learn. Information, yes, is free. You can go get stuff off Google and ChatGPT for sure. But the level of testing your knowledge, your wisdom, your expertise, your experience, gaining that, having the accountability, the community, that costs money. And when I was able to put that onto other people, like finally get to this place using the law of attraction, like what's available for them is available for me. So if I can make a mastermind and put this price point on it, and hold the standard that if people want to learn from me or learn this experience or have access to our community and our guest speakers, then they're going to pay that price point. What that did for me, because if I think about what we expect others to do is what we attract, I was then, got to this place where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm earning more money now. I want to learn more. I'm seeing that you've got to pay to play. I want to work with mentors and coaches. It's not free. Yes, I could go try and Google this stuff and figure it out on my own, but that takes time and it takes a lot of being in a silo and loneliness. And why don't I just pay somebody to give me the information faster and better because they've already lived through it? So that lesson really taught me a lot of what standard I hold other people to, I then hold myself to. And actually it goes the other way though, because, if we think about the concept of the world as a mirror to you, and basically you have to change everything internally before you can expect anything externally to change for you. So what really happened was I held the faith internally that I created something that was worth that value, that I was worth charging that much and earning that much, and that actually I want to be a player in having a coach and a mentor and learning new things. And I would commit to showing up and investing in these types of things. And because of that, the whole dynamic and my whole energy around creating something and charging for it at a higher price point than what we had previously charged then became accessible, then was available for me. So I just want to share that example with you because she talks about that in the book, right? Like she talks about you attract what you are. That is the law of attraction. That you don't attract what you want. That's not how it goes. We all wish it would go that way. We all want, multi-million-dollar businesses and the homes of our dreams and our love life and to have it all. And if it were that simple that you attract what you want, then everybody would have what they want. But that's not how it works. The universal laws say you attract what you are. And what you are is a human body with a set of thoughts and feelings. So what you are thinking about and what you feel matters. That is your attraction point. That's your set point. That's why a Debbie Downer, a negative Nancy, is not out there celebrating how magnetic she is and all of the things she's drawing into her life. Her set point is negative. It's down. It's pessimistic. It's not enjoyable to be around. And then the people who are out there praising, singing their gratitudes and being appreciative for what they have and noticing the small little details of life and like how their hot coffee and their cozy bed and the hummingbird outside their window and their greetings from their dog and all of those sorts of things. Those are the people that seem to live life and feel more joy and more presence and then seem to have these experiences, attract these experiences that give them more opportunity to feel more joyful and appreciative. It's because they are manifesting what they are. They are grateful. They are appreciative. They are high vibrational. So you want to attract, or you do attract what you are. So you want to really focus on what is your energetic set point? How do you feel? What thoughts are contributing to how you feel? In the book, Florence says, your words are your wand. I love that so much. Your words are your wand. Choose them wisely. I love it so much for so many reasons, but particularly because we made these master attractor sweaters a couple of years ago and gave them to a bunch of our aligned CEOs, and they had the little magic wand emoji on them. If you have that sweater still, please take a photo, tag us on My Line Purpose. I would love to see that they're still floating around the world. So your words are a wand. Use them wisely. She says the tongue is the rudder of the ship. So if you don't know what that means, it's like the guiding point. Your tongue is guiding your life, your thoughts, what's attracted to you, what's repelled by you. And I don't think she's wrong. Every time you say, I'm so broke, I'm terrible at this, I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I never get what I want, you are literally programming your subconscious mind to believe that that is true. Every single time you affirm it, your subconscious mind doesn't know that you're just like, your subconscious mind doesn't know that you don't want to believe that. Your subconscious mind is just programmed to believe everything that you say, to take it as truth. Your words are a wand. Use them wisely. So my action step for you here, my homework piece for you is to start catching yourself when you are talking negatively about yourself, about your life, about your situation, rather than saying, I'm so stressed. Try, I'm learning. I'm learning to navigate this challenge. Small shifts, big magic. Okay. Small little shifts, big, big magic. The second thing that I took away from this book is the whole idea of releasing the outcome and trusting the process. Now, if you have been on a call with me or heard me say this on a podcast, or you're a coaching client of ours, you would have heard me say this before. And my analogy for this of releasing the outcome and trusting the process is you book a flight from, let's say, here in the Pacific Northwest, British Columbia to Paris. That's a long flight. That's a long, long flight. Get across Canada and then across the Atlantic Ocean. Now, you can trust that the outcome is you're going to get to Paris. Okay, you can trust that. Release that outcome. You're going to get to Paris. Some people can't. Some people cannot release that. They're going to be stressed and panicked and upset. The lines are long. And when's the lady going to come around again with more water? And why don't they have enough room on the plane? That is not trusting or enjoying the process. That is hating or being totally negative about the whole process, the whole journey. Or you could release the outcome, know that you're going to get to Paris, and you could choose to enjoy the journey. You could say, I'm going to get there regardless, and I can choose to feel really excited about this journey, and who cares that there's long lines, and yeah, it's taking them a little bit longer to get back up the aisle, and maybe this will be your reminder to book business class next time so that you don't complain about the little footroom or whatever it might be. But how you choose to feel on that long flight is up to you. That is nobody else is responsible for that except for you. And in this book, Florence says, let it go and give it to God. So God can mean whatever you want God to mean. It can mean God to you. It can mean the universe. It can mean source. It can mean creator. It can mean the universe, whatever it is. Whatever you define as giving it up to the larger power, let it go and give it up to God. She was saying that before it was cool. Like lots of people say that now. It's quite trendy. I find lots of people are really into God right now. And I don't know if that's a trend or I don't know what's happening there. And so to think that she wrote this book 100 years ago and was still talking about that concept of stop trying to control the whole world, like trust that there is something bigger at play here, and stop blocking your miracles and stop trying to control every little piece of the scenario. The universe has a better plan. It has a better plan. It will redirect you. It will line up miracles for you if you're open to it. But if you are gripping and holding on and trying to make sure that the outcome can only happen one way and it's your way, you block all the other ways that it could unfold. So I want you to think about something you're trying to force right now. Think about if you're trying to force a launch, if you're trying to force a situation in your relationship, if you're trying to force a financial outcome, whatever it might be. I want you to think of something you're trying to force, and I want you to practice saying something along the lines of, I give this situation to divine intelligence, to creator, to source for the perfect solution. Okay? I give this situation up to God for the perfect solution. I give this situation up to the universe for the perfect solution. But then you've got to actually let go and watch what unfolds. So that's your challenge for that. Now, the third takeaway from this book is what you judge is what you attract. So we got to stop being so judgmental, not just of others, but of yourself. The more you look in the mirror and judge your body, the more you attract the feeling of the judgment. The more that you look outside of yourself and you judge your neighbor or you judge your friend or your family member or whatever it is, you attract more of that energy. You attract more of that type of person in your life. You attract more of what you are saying you don't like about that person into your life. What you judge, you attract. This can make some people feel kind of squirmy because what she teaches in this book is that what you're judging is what you're secretly resenting in others, or what you're secretly just praying nobody finds out about you. Right? Like, oh, like that person is so confident, but I'm going to judge them and call them conceited, because what you really want is to feel a sense of confidence, but you won't allow yourself to go there or access that. And then therefore it's easier to just make what somebody else is doing wrong or bad. So judging someone else's success, you're actually blocking your own. When you criticize someone else's relationship, you might want to check your own patterns in your own relationship. So what I want everybody to think about in terms of this, of what you judge is what you attract, the next time you catch yourself judging someone, making them less than, not good enough, not worthy enough, whatever it might be, I want you to ask yourself, what is this showing me about myself? We did a very similar exercise to this in Align CEO Method in our mindset call a couple of weeks ago, where I walked everyone through this whole exercise of thinking about how the universe is a mirror to us inside. Like nothing outside changes until you change inside. And I want everybody to think about that for this. If you are judging someone, if you are criticizing someone, what do you think it is showing you about what you are fearful of yourself? Or even if you envy someone or you find yourself being jealous of someone, what do you think that could actually be showing you about your own potential or your own desire? You can use this as a mirror for your own healing and your own growth. Basically, to summarize this book, I want to say that you're not a victim. Stop playing victim. If you're catching yourself playing victim, you gotta stop it. And maybe you don't even realize you're playing victim, but you gotta ask yourself, am I being an active participant and taking radical responsibility in my life? Am I choosing to be a player in the game of life? The game of life and how to play it. That's what this book is, right? Every thought, every word, every belief is shaping your reality. So I challenge you to pick one of the takeaways that I talked about. Your words are your wand. Release the outcome, trust the process. What you judge is what you attract. I want you to choose one of those. And I gave like little action steps or homework. And I want you to try and commit to it. This week, try and commit to it. Pay attention to your words. Practice releasing control, or use your judgments as a mirror. Then I want you to slide into our DMs over on My Aligned Purpose on Instagram. And I want you to tell me what has shifted for you. Okay, if this episode resonated, please let me know. We always love that. If you haven't yet left a rating and review, head over to Apple Podcasts, search My Aligned Purpose Podcast, scroll down past a few episodes. You'll see that there's a spot where you can click 5 stars and then leave a little review. We'd love if you left us a review. We're getting so close to 100 reviews. That would mean the world to me and to us. Share this episode with a friend or share it on Instagram and tag us. We always love and appreciate that too. Let's spread more wisdom. Let's spread more mindset and manifestation out into the world. Let's help each other play this game of life more. And if you are listening to this on Monday, June 23rd, know that you still have 2 more days, today and tomorrow, to get registered into cash flow. This is our biggest and best cohort yet. We're so excited. We're kicking off on Wednesday with our 6 figures in 6 months strategy session. And then you get to join us for 4 weeks after that of masterminding and sales training and how we grow cash flow in our business and how we support all of our clients to do the same. Okay, we'll be back later this week with Biz Besties.